map spawning all the way in the bottom right-hand corner. We, of course, have our red Terran player coming down from the land of Korea, currently residing in the land of Japan. He is, of course, representing Preppy Sports. He is Hon Mono.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Cosmic Sapphire, we have the Polish Protoss player. He is not pink, he is purple. Representing Infernales Esports, it is Papi.
A Papi castled by a Papi.
Sí, Papi, sí. Oh my god, we need to bring them all together. There's Papi, there's Papi Joe as well. Not the same player, not the same player.
Yeah. There's also Peppy.
There's Peppy.
Yeah. I don't know if that counts, but
It's Pezza Perry.
yeah. There's Papa Panda.
There's Papa Panda, there's Juanito, you know, there's a lot of Papis out there.
Oh yeah. There's Jaime, Jim Rising, now officially an actual Papi.
He's an an actual Papi. There you go, there you go. Mighty Kiwi, soon to be a Papi.
Yeah.
Massive shout out to David. But yeah, already as we get into this series, Hon Mono is doing what he does best, and that is just keep his opponent in the dark. We do see a probe scout going across the map. Hon Mono immediately walls off here with his depot. And what's he hiding? Nothing really, because he is taking a base, he is expanding on the high ground, but Papi doesn't know that.
Yeah, Hon Mono is hiding the fact that he's playing standard, or at least as standard as you can get, by trying to hide your main base like this.
Yeah, I have to wonder, I always have to wonder this when the Europeans are introduced to some of these more unorthodox players about whether or not Papi is aware about how Hon Mono plays. I'm sure Geralt wasn't, right? Geralt came in as the favorite. Everyone was looking at Geralt like, oh my god, he's here to finally win a tournament. And then he runs into Hon Mono, you know, a force to be reckoned with, you know, a freak of nature. A little bit. So like, yeah, I'm always curious when it comes to Hon Mono's opponents, if they know what they're getting into.
Yeah, I guess it is a little bit important to keep in mind. Hon Mono has only pretty recently been rising the ranks of net notoriety. So, yeah, there was a point in time not that long ago, I think at the start of this year, where even Korean players weren't really aware of how Hon Mono plays.
Yeah, like Hon Mono, 3 Point, these guys, there's a lot of these up-and-coming semi-pro Korean players that really started to rise up basically like around the start of COVID, maybe even a little bit after COVID. So they're like relatively new to the scene, and a lot of people are unaware of them. So we'll see how they go here. Meanwhile, once again, we've seen this before. Earlier today, it beat Geralt 2-1-1.
Yeah, thankfully for Papi though, Warp Gate is about to finish up, so
True.
It's not going to be as punishing this time.
Yeah, we saw a Stargate opener here from Papi. He's going across the map with his first Oracle. With this Oracle, he should get confirmation on the production. The Marines are kind of in position, but again, the Oracle should see everything.
Like so. It sees almost everything. Won't be able to see the boys being pulled, though, if it moves away.
That's true. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Right now, Hon Mono is just waiting for his first wave of medevacs to go and move out across the map. Again, as a reminder, this did end up killing Geralt earlier, but Papi is approaching this in a little bit of a different manner. Quickly checking here. He doesn't have a Twilight Council, so he's not going to be relying on Blink. Instead, he went for a faster Robo after Stargate.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Interestingly enough, and now we have confirmation of why. He is going to go for Colossus.
Is this a good thing? I'm a little bit worried here as Papi comes across the medevacs, thank god. Papi is working with 2 gateways right now. He has 2 gateways for production. His Robo isn't going to be doing anything because he's waiting for the Bay. His Stargate isn't doing anything either. Like, we don't have that many units to work with.
Yeah. But at the same time, Stim has only now finished up for the bio, and with that, he is able to pounce on top of these vanilla stalkers. Again, he didn't go for the Twilight Council, did he?
Exactly, no blink available, but here we go. The Stalkers trade well enough to force a bit of a pickup. But Honmono did trade relatively well, but he just didn't have enough momentum to keep on going. Papi will defend, and this is going to be great for him. He survived despite only, again, having the minimal amount of units, and with a Colossi coming out, this is going to shut down any kind of bio pressure.
Yeah, even with the tanks coming out, if Honmono doesn't have a couple of Marauders to tank the damage, he's not really going to be able to break this.
Yeah.
Or if he pulls the boys, he pulls the boys! This is what I like about Honmono.
Let's go, but you know what? Papi sees everything. He sees all. He has an observer here outside the natural base. He saw the boys being pulled. He should be more than prepared as the stasis trap goes off to maybe even evacuate and give up the third base. It looks like he wants to try and defend it. A little bit greedy, but he does have a shield battery. He has overcharge. He has stasis traps.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's anticipating what's coming his way, but he's very well set
Stasis.
up for it. Regardless, the stasis does not get popped just yet.
Oh my
Tank
god.
will be taken out immediately, and with that, Honmono really doesn't have much of a backbone to keep up this pressure.
He really doesn't. We do have a second tank, though, and again, fighting outside of range of the shield battery isn't ideal. Looks like Papi is going to lose a little bit, but the boys were pulled. Like, Honmono can't really transition from here.
Yeah, he's gonna try. He reproduced a bunch of his workers, and he's trying to mule that natural base, but he is just so insanely behind when it comes to the economy. He's on 2 bases versus a Protoss player on 3, and he's down about 15 workers, give or take.
Exactly, and because he pulled the boys earlier, he's even further behind economically. It looks like he wants to set up for a follow-up push. We do have Concussive Shell on the way. We have a third Rex being set up. I'd be shocked if we see a third CC. I wouldn't be surprised if he pulls the boys a second time.
Here's what's interesting to me, Light.
Go on.
Honmono opted not to go for an eBay at all, so yeah, he's not really going to be able to catch back up when it comes to the upgrades either. I mean, he just doesn't have the upgrades available to him, is the thing. If he wants to end the game, I mean, he pretty much has to go now.
He starts a third CC. Okay, buddy. I mean, you just mentioned it, right? There are no eBays, there are no upgrades. Honmono doesn't really have a lot of longevity with his army. Over time, it's just going to be outscaled. So he's on a timer. So for him to throw down a third CC, I'm a little bit in shock. We'll see if he can pull this off. I mean, regardless, you know, Papi himself is only just now throwing down 2 forges, so he doesn't have any upgrades to speak of either. So maybe Honmono can still macro out of this.
Yeah, we'll see. He's trying to deal some equalizing damage wherever he can. But, I mean, look at Papi's vision on the map. He's got observers in every key important area. All of these drops. Gets got it pretty much immediately.
Breathe. The Medivacs,
oh right, I forgot to do. Forgot to do that.
The Medivacs barely managed to escape. At the same time, there was a scan here. Honmono did get a kill on the observer, and I have to wonder a couple of things. The observer did see the third CC. Was that on purpose? Did Honmono just make this just to feign, to make a bit of a feign and to fake out his opponent? Does he really intend to make more workers from here? Because he hasn't made a worker in a while.
Well, here's the thing, though. If you have a third CC, you can build more boys to pull.
If you have a third CC as he scans for another observer, that means you can pull more boys. Let's go!
Exactly, yo! He can rally the boys across the map.
You don't need boys.
As they produce.
Man, you got mules. You
got mule.
We can call down supply. Yeah. Here we go. We have if at first you don't succeed, try again. The second time the boys are being pulled this game, but we do have a couple of stasis traps. Will he spot it in time? He scans and he sees.
And he will be taking it out. Conventional wisdom will typically say that the first push of the Terran player is the deadliest, but I don't know this time. This is a much beefier army available for Honmono.
Oh, it is much beefier, and I'm sure he was hoping that maybe Papi was going to be a little bit more greedy. He does have 1-1 on the way, but the longer this goes on, the better it's going to be here for Papi. He has 3 Colossi, he has Disruptors on the way. Honmono is going to make something happen now. At the same time, we have Zealots in the main. If he wasn't all in already, he's all in now.
Yeah, may as well pull those boys that are remaining.
He really should.
Go for a full base trade. Instead, he's trying to fight the Zealots, and he loses all of them.
Ugh. Yeah, the Zealots are going to go ham here in the main base. Meanwhile, a second Robo is completed. 2 Disruptors are coming out at a time. Third base is going to go down, but Papi, he can afford to lose a third.
Yeah, initially, I was definitely appreciating how patient Homono was being when it came to pushing into this side of the map, but I feel like the time for that is gone. He can't continue to be patient in this game! Purification Nova doesn't actually get that many units.
I got SCVs.
They got SCVs. No, but the boys!
The boys are dying. Meanwhile, we have the slow push here. The slow siege. The second Robo is under threat. We are a little bit supply blocked, so both Robos go down. No more Disruptors, but we have a Dark Shrine on the way.
And it doesn't take that much to be able to win the game with DTs. I mean, the last orbital command is about to be taken out. Homono, does he turn around with his army? Does he get the surround on this Protoss army? He can, but he doesn't.
Oh, exactly. He was a little bit too preoccupied there at the natural base. Every single tank and Liberator goes down. His army was out of position. He wasn't there to support. We have the overcharge, and Homono is running out of units.
There's one boy left for Homono. GG is called. Papi takes game number 1.
He had 0 supply. Homono had 0 everything. Oh my god.
Well.
GG.
That's Homono for you.
That's Homono for you. GG. Well played. Papi takes the first game. But Homono made him work for it a little bit. I love the fake third TC. You know, we were just pumping out constant tanks, constant Vikings. We knew what was going to happen. Constant boys as well. But Papi was prepared for anything. Again, that first wave just didn't do as much as it needed to. And Papi was just so good at just, again, crippling the economy with his oracles, with his zealots, just killing whatever workers he could.
Honestly, I'm a little bit surprised that Homono committed to the initial push when he did, considering how well Papi was able to deal with that 2-on-1. I mean, he took a couple of casualties when it came to the Stalkers, and I think 2 or 3 probes here and there. That should have been a signal for Homono to, you know, continue macroing. Instead, he says, "Nope, I'm gonna push across the map without upgrades. You know, purely with stim. I'm gonna let combat shield finish as I push into you." And it's like, no. You calm down.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's a world where instead of pushing into the third, he pushes into the natural. Maybe he rotates around, and the natural, there's no shield battery, there are no stasis traps. It's a little bit less defended. It takes longer to get there, don't get me wrong. So it's a tough call to make. Regardless, tick it off your bingo card, because for the first time today, we're on Tropical Sacrifice.
All we're missing right now is Waterfall. Waterfall and... No, just Waterfall. Water and Fall. That should be the name of a map. That should be the name of a map in the next pool. Water and Fall. As we continue our best of 3 semifinales here on Tropical Sacrifice. In the bottom left-hand corner maps, floating all the way in the bottom left-hand corner, we of course have a Red Terran player coming out from the land of Korea, currently residing in Japan. His name means Tranquil Place or something like that. I don't remember what it's a something place. A something place. He is representing Prep Esports, Homono.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tropical Sacrifice, we have the Polish Protoss player himself representing Infernales Esports. It is Papi. Going for a proxy.
You love to see it. Fight the cheeser with some cheese.
There you go, mate. It's not the most committed cheese. We do have a gateway at home and 1 gateway across the map. So, again, with these first handful of units, ideally, Papi is able to take down, deny, cancel the CC on the low ground if there is one. As, oh my god, Homono is trying to psych his opponent out and trying to hide his initial racks.
And you know what? I bet Homono or Papi is looking at this and saying, this is absolutely the best case scenario.
Especially because the Marine is... Oh, the Marine doesn't... Oh, there we go. The probe checks. The Marine is here. Now Papi knows the Rax is at home.
And this is more than best case scenario. This is bestest case scenario.
Here we go. Zealot's already coming across the map. We have a Stalker and an Adept on the way. A bit of a 1-1-1. One of each coming out here for Papi to wreak havoc across the map. And we'll see if Honmono can defend. Ooh, as Honmono is delaying his CC by quite a bit.
Yeah, it does mean that he's going to be nice
for
and
drop?
defended over here. He is going to build an armory pretty soon.
I think Honmono just dies.
Yeah, he absolutely just dies. He is not set up at all to be able to defend against the gateway units coming this way.
Yeah, he's going to be forced to use his Widowmines back at home defensively, despite the fact that he probably doesn't want to. Boys are being pulled. The first Deeper's already taking a lot of damage. Here we go. This Widowmine, if it hits a Zealot, it could force some friendly fire. Ooh, as Papi does back off.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the plan here for Papi. If he has to take some damage from the Widowmines, then he's gonna, at the very least, take a couple of boys down with him. He's trying to time out the shade! Ooh. Slightly mistimed, but only barely.
Well, I mean, nice macro from both players because Honmono unburrows all of his Widowmines to make sure not a single shot goes off. So Honmono is being really greedy. He goes for the drop. There's one Marine to defend.
And the armory is thrown down. Not even a bunker here.
Oh my god, the balls on Honmono to leave his base completely defenseless. Now some Widowmines are coming out, so he's getting away with this. He's getting away with going for the drop.
Honmono is the absolute definition of a Chad. If you were ever wondering what that phrase means,
yeah,
Honmono.
Oh my god, meanwhile, here we go. Okay, we do have a reaction from Papi in the end. The Widowmine shots are going to be going off here as Honmono chases down these workers. And there's no detection. These Widowmines, they're going to be up for quite some time. Up.
Oh, this is long enough! It was long enough, but thankfully Papi was able to split up his forces, or his workers right at the end here. He also forces all of the units that were at his base to come home.
True. They all come in. I love this move from Papi. He just completely evacuates. He's going to be mining at his natural. Instead, he knows that the main base is going to get out of control. We don't have Blink. We are going to have an observer here in a couple of seconds. So Papi making the most out of a bad situation.
But you know what? Another medevac is making its way to the natural.
Yeah, another 4 Widowmines are locked and loaded. Again, Honmono has to deal more damage because he delayed his CC for so long. He's on one base right now. He needs to get a juicy connection.
And that was a pretty juicy connection, if I do say for myself. That was it? Yeah, GG! Honmono ties up that series 1-1!
I apologize.
I looked at the victory screen and I was like, alright, Papi. Did he take the series? I was like, wait, why is Terran music playing? Why is that the Terran logo? Why does it say Honmono won that game? Because Honmono won that game. We're going into our ace match. Yeah. The power of the mind drops, man. Sometimes it only takes one. This was one of those times.
Let's go, mate. Let's go as we let the players know that we are ready. I don't know if we are ready as we get into the ace match here. Apparently, okay, a handful of shots are all you need. 9 pros went down there in the natural base, and Papi, he taps out. He's done. He wants to get the hell out of there and get into the ace match.
Indeed he does. Oh, man. Man, after game number 1 of just flawless defense, that's got to be a little bit of a punch in the gut to lose to Widowmine drop like that. Get Papi. But regardless, we are going to be concluding this best of 3 semifinals and determining who moves on to our best of 5 grand finals here on Inside and Out. We're in the top right-hand quarter map, starting all the way in the top right-hand quarter. We have a red Terran player coming out from the land of Korea, but now residing in the land of Japan, which I think is actually a little bit further to the north, so yeah, I don't know why I'm, yeah, he's still coming on down. He is, of course, going to be representing Prep Esports, the Giga Chat himself, Honmono.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Inside and Out, we have the Polish Protoss player himself representing Infernales Esports. It is Papi. Going for another proxy.
Yeah, going for another proxy in the face of a Turex. I like this. Kuro was pointing out in the chat.
God.
All of the pro pulls in that last game was just insanely close. Split second defenses. And then his attention was elsewhere for like 2 seconds. And he immediately loses the game. It only takes one. Sometimes.
Sometimes it only takes one. And what's it going to take this game? Because Papi is going for the same opener. He's going for a 1 gate at home, 1 gate across the map. We're going to have a Zealot, a Stalker, and an Adept coming out here to delay that CC and to deal some damage. But Honmono is going Giga all in right now on 1 base. He's going for 4-axe.
Is this good against a proxy gate? I mean,
I don't know.
Is this fine?
I haven't seen this. Oh, he's scouting! He's scouting!
Yo.
Oh my god!
Will he see it yet? He sees it immediately. He's looking to depower this. Honmono has the advantage at the moment. Papi, okay, he did not neglect his Zealot. I was going to say, that's an important component when you're going for a proxy gate like this. You need to be building that Zealot back home.
Yeah, so this is gonna get real weird. So one, we're gonna have a massive amount of Marines, but they're also vanilla Marines, so there's gonna be a lot of like micro potential here for Papi. But at the same time, like if at any moment, I love this Honmono, he's setting up a trap. He's hiding the rest of his Marines. He wants to go first round, but he gets spotted.
Oh yeah, that one Marine right at the tail end wasn't enough to tip off Papi to the direction of these Marines. There's still a lot of firepower available for Honmono. Papi is gonna be forced to retreat, but yeah, Papi is not going to be losing any units just yet.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I love what Honmono was doing. Unfortunately, it was a little bit too late to set up that trap and to get a full surround and to catch that first Stalker. Again, it's very difficult for vanilla Marines to catch Stalkers, period, because they have so much range. But at the same time, like, this amount of Marines is kind of sus. Like, Papi should be aware as he loses a Stalker that something is not right. That's a lot of Marines.
It's a lot of Marines. They were well set up in a concave, and with a little bit of stutter stepping, Papi will draw first blood.
I'm afraid, like Papi, he's taking his Nexus, which is it's fine for now, I guess. But I need to see more from him that he recognizes. Okay, we have a shield battery on the way as well. Okay, I think he recognizes how aggressive Honmono plans to be.
Yeah, I guess it really depends on how well Papi is able to keep Honmono on his side of the map, because this can pay off really, really well for Papi. It's a huge risk. But if he can kite really well with his Stalkers, if he can just keep the bio at bay, then it's going to pay off big time. He's going to have such an economic lead, but if not, then, well, Honmono, he's got a couple of Marauders to deal with the Stalkers. He's has about twice the army supply, and he's moving across the map.
Yeah,
not pulling the boys, though, which is the one note I have. No! He's falling down.
Do you know who you're casting? Of course Honmono's pulling the boys, mate. Aye. Here we go.
Yeah, boy.
We were talking about it. Giga all in, Papi. We have Marines, we have Marauders, we have SCVs. What do we have at home to defend? Would you have 2 sentries? Force fields are king right now. They need to be on point. He needs to buy time.
Smoke Golden coming down. Force fields leaves a little bit to be desired.
Yeah.
These Marines are still able to get into position. Battery overcharge is helping, but with the sheer amount of firepower and DPS available for Honmono, it does take too much.
Actually,
I say that,
mate, Honmono, he was A-moving instead of targeting down the shield battery. That overcharge actually did so much there to help Papi, and he's defending.
He is absolutely defending, yeah! That's a move that's going to haunt Honmono for quite some time.
Yeah, with the amount of Marauders that he had, it honestly wouldn't have taken much to focus down the shield battery. Like, he was a little bit overconfident, it feels. Like, he's pulling the boys again.
You love to see it, but I think it's too little too late at this point. He could have won the game right then and there. But his attention was elsewhere, or at least his attention wasn't on the shield battery.
Yeah, again, I think he was just overconfident. I think he looked at his numbers and he probably thought that he won the game, especially with those force fields. Like, he's like, no, yeah, I got this. There's no problem. I can just A-move stim and win. Wait, I don't have stim. And, yeah, we'll see if he can pull it off again. The Zealot is going to go down. The Marauders dishing out as much damage as possible. Enough time as possible where a second shield battery comes out, a second overcharge comes out, and Papi holds.
And now we have an Immortal available for Papi, so all of these Marauders are going to have a very bad time dealing with all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Hanmono, there's no way he can go back home and try to macro out of this. Again, he was Smoge all in.
Yeah, this is the
Right
PSA
from the
for.
beginning. He was,
He was a Exodia all in, mate. And
he was Ape all in.
a PSA for the people in the chat: if you're a Terran player, if you have an overcharge up against you, respect the overcharge. GG gets called, and Papi takes the series 2-1.